Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Really cool piece to share with you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at this custom knife from Sergey Rogovets, and this is called the Object 113 or Object 113. So Sergey, if you guys aren't familiar with his work, he is a custom knife maker out of the New York area. He's a second generation jeweler by trade, and his time is right now kind of split between 50% on knives and 50% on jewelry. A little more on his background: he used to collect knives, then he started selling knives through his website Extreme Addiction. At this point he's just a custom maker, and models such as this one would go to one of his dealers. He does have open books, but only if you're looking for full dress pieces like full Damascus or Mokutai handles and Damasteel Damascus type blades. So if you want to go real crazy, his books are open for you. Otherwise, you'll just need to check out the dealers. So we'll go through the specs, overall impressions, and details just as always. Now, a couple interesting things. So this model is on loan. I will have to send it back, unfortunately, but really appreciate Sergey allowing me to handle one. I've seen his work, been familiar with his work for a long time, but never had the chance to handle one, so this is a first for me as well. Before we jump into the knife, let me show you what it ships with here. So we do have a Pelican style case with his name and company, I guess lasered on the front. You do get a certificate of authenticity, kind of outlines use and so forth, and includes a nice business card as well as a pivot tool, which is pretty neat. And then of course the pouch that ships in. So excellent presentation, a lot of nice detail work. Probably his background in jewelry making and presentation of jewelry and everything is evident here. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. What else about Sergey? I guess he started making knives in about 2013, so he's been doing it for about 3 or 4 years. Doesn't go to any shows. He doesn't ever really have knives to take to the shows, he said. They're either ending up at his dealers or it's a one-off order, so really no point to him going at this point in time, but perhaps later on. Actually, let me show you the knife first here. Let's get a good look at it. Really interesting design, some really cool laser work. You'll notice the really nice gear patterned full Damascus backspacer there. Milled pocket clip, of course, pivot collar, copper inlay on the blade. So runs on bearings, stainless steel lock insert. That is what we're looking at here. So as far as my overall impressions go, initially I wasn't really sure about this design. I had no idea what he was sending me to take a look at. And I opened it and I was like, that's a little bit odd. But this design has actually grown on me quite a bit. It has a tremendous amount of kind of ergonomic design, functional choil. It's a design that grows on you. So if you guys are looking at it and thinking, it's a little too out there, a little too different, that really was his intent. He basically told me that he's kind of bored with a lot of the designs out there, and so he wants them to be different. He's trying to be different. And so that's, I think, what this knife represents quite well. Now, the fit and the finish is perfect. I can find no flaws with it. Everything, to my eye, to the naked eye, looks absolutely perfect. So fit and finish is definitely there. If this model doesn't speak to you, then he does have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 other models that you can take a look at. So let's take a look at the action. Really nice action, but again, odd design, amazing ergonomics, just fits in the hand really well, and a lot of beautiful detail work. So all right, those are my overall impressions. I mean, it's again, I've admired his work from afar from quite a while, and happy to say that in hand, in person, it's just as good as you would expect. And I think other people who have done videos on his knives have pretty much just said the same thing. I didn't watch any prior to doing this video though. So All right. Another thing that's really striking about this is, I was asking him, how much smart tech is involved in this particular knife, and really surprised to hear that he doesn't use any smart tech. Everything is done with like a manual mill, manual lathe, manual grinder, and a bandsaw. The only thing where he uses tech is the laser work here on the handles. Everything else is done manually. So that makes his work even more impressive. So um, I think everything is made by him except for the screws. The screws aren't made by him, but he does modify them before they go on the knife. So just about everything. I mean, that's probably like 95% him. The yeah. So let's look at the specs. Let me grab, of course, the Kershaw CQC7K for a size comparison here. Now the blade length is just about 3.7 inches. It is made of M390. He has a copper inlay here on the blade, and that's kind of a signature detail that he's going to incorporate on all of his knives at this point. The handle is just about 5 inches. Handle thickness is 0.53 inches. It does weigh in at 6.75 ounces. Full titanium 6L4V, of course. And the stainless steel lock insert here is made of hardened D2 steel. So there is a copper inlay, laser work, Damascus backspacer, 3D milled pocket clip. So those are the specs for the most part. The handles have actually been orange peeled prior to being lasered, so a lot of nice texture in the hand. Doesn't really pick up like smudges or fingerprints or anything because of the orange peel finish. So yeah, so there we were for a size comparison and the specs. He does use stainless steel bearings and a ceramic detent. The bearings come from Japan, apparently. He said they're precision stainless steel bearings. First person I've heard using bearings from Japan. Most people opt for Alpha Knife Supply and so forth. And yeah, really smooth, really nice action. It's not really one that like falls on itself, but it is very, very smooth here. So yeah, M390 blade, flat grind, really interesting, I guess, drop point, Warncliffe hybrid style blade here. There's that nice copper inlay. The finger choil is very, very usable, and then the back of the harpoon here gives you a really nice grip on it if you need to do something light or fine. So no jimping. The stop pin here is of course hardened stainless steel. So let's look at the handle and that really cool laser work. Biohazard skulls, it says biohazard, but that's the look that you get here. It's even incorporated onto the pocket clip, so it all flows really well. You can see the word transitions between both. Really nice copper inlay, custom pivot, I mean the whole 9 yards here. I think it's really interesting how that stainless steel lock insert incorporates there. It goes back into the frame a little bit. That's a little bit different than everyone else, but lockup is rock solid. Centering is perfect, of course. So, and the lockup is currently at, I don't know, probably about 50% or so. Now a little bit less, probably about 40%. But no stick, of course, with the lock insert. And man, the Damascus backspacer is fantastic. I really like kind of small touches of Damascus or highly polished material. So to get the Damascus looking this good, this is a completely polished piece. And when it's on the side of the knife, it's it gets scratched, it gets damaged really easy. But when it's incorporated into the backspacer like this, it's a little safer for polished pieces. So I think this is really neat, really well done, and does offer, I don't know, maybe a little bit of grip here with the gear pattern. So yeah, just a beautiful chunk of Damascus, so I really like it. He did go ahead and, as you can see, he chamfered out both sides of the frames here, so it's really easy to disengage. I wish all knives, all frame locks would do that, or even some liner locks. It's helpful on all the above. So 3D milled pocket clip. Yeah, just beautiful work. I love that it's unique. Again, the design, at first I didn't really like it, but it's grown on me tremendously, and quite sad that I'll have to send this one back. He said when I'm bored with it, but I'm not sure when or if that'll ever be. Anyways, there are a lot of good makers out there, and he's just another one that I will have to add to my hopefully someday list at this point. So yeah. Other than that, I think I've covered just about everything. Again, check out his dealers, or go to the link in the description box to see his dealers where you can pick up pieces like these. Or if you want to go real crazy and do a crazy expensive build, that's where you would contact him directly. So anyways, thanks again, Sergey. I will put this in the mail at some point. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at this really unique piece. Again, if you've had some concerns about picking something up from him, flawless work. And to think it's done by hand really does kind of boggle the mind. So yeah, let's do one last look, since this is probably a video where I could have just shown you the knife and not talked at all, and I think most of you guys would have been happy. But it is signed, of course, here on the back spacer. But yeah, nicely done. Alright guys, we'll leave it there. More videos to come. Take care.